entrance.
I love it.
Are we good? Oh, wait a minute. Did I make an entrance?
Yeah.
Am I on? How's my... Let me turn this on.
Sounds like a plan.
Let me touch this.
Yes.
Nice.
We are ready to go. Rock and roll.
Rockin' and rolling.
Are we live? We are live.
We are live.
Hey everybody, welcome to Missouri Star Live. It's Misty and Jenny.
And Jenny. And we may look great, but we don't feel so great.
We felt better.
We have felt better. Our voices are all, oh my goodness.
I've got a cough drop. We're doing the best we can.
That's right. That's right. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here with us. We're super excited. So let's see where people are tuning in from. We've got Julie from South Dakota. Paula from Texas.
So you guys, I want to tell you too today that it is icy out there.
Yeah.
Like super icy. Like we had a man down in front of Floral. We had a woman down in the bank parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, things are falling all over.
Yeah.
It is slick. Be careful out there. It's really tough. We had to close Saturday because we had a big storm, and you know, we get comments from time to time from people who are like, "We can't believe you closed," and we're like, "You must live someplace where there's no ice."
Yeah.
Because literally people can't get out of their driveway.
Yeah, it's not good.
My husband got stuck at the end of our driveway, and we live in town on a city road, and you know, the tires just spun. As actually Michael and Jake came and pushed him out, and that poor old guy.
I know.
It was all he could do. He had to take a nap for the rest of the day.
It wears you out. So we're trying to stay safe, and we
Wait,
appreciate
is my mic
your
working?
understanding.
I'm here.
Jake's here too. There he is. Awesome. And he sounds great. He sounds just like his normal self.
We thought about having him and Michael do this today, which...
Yeah, because we know you enjoyed that last time. But
we've got somebody from Plainfield, Indiana.
Oh,
I hung out in
wow.
Plainfield for a while.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Welcome, Indiana.
Yeah, thanks for being
Anybody
here.
from Alabama out there? Alabama, give us a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Jake was just in Alabama this last week.
Yeah.
He went to space camp.
He went to space camp, and he loved it.
He
It was
did.
awesome.
He's going to be an astronaut now.
Yeah, so we're
I'm
going
all
to try
about
and...
it. It was awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
I did a trunk show at down in Huntsville, Alabama, a few years ago, and there were 3 women who were quilting that were like, you know, rocket scientists.
So awesome.
And I was just like, what? You know, I mean, it was just really fun.
Pretty cool. All right. Well, should we dive into what we're doing today?
Yeah, we have kind of a fun project for you.
Yeah, super fun. So Valentine's is coming up, so we made these fun little woven heart applique blocks, and we just made a little wall hanging, but you can do lots with them, right?
You can do lots with them. Now, the fun thing about this woven heart for me is that this is a Swedish tradition. We actually make woven hearts to put on our Christmas trees, and they're like little pouches that hold little, little baskets. That's a better word than pouch. But they're little baskets, little heart baskets that hold candy and treats like that and things for the kids. And I thought it would be fun if we just like cut it in half, and it's way easier to weave this way.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
for sure.
It really
but they're
is.
just so cute with the little
yeah, and I made a few different colors.
Yeah, you do want to pick good contrast so they show up. This is probably the best one to show up.
Yeah, this was my first one, and I wasn't real happy with the contrast, so I made more, and then they were really fun.
But
so
still,
I made
it looks
more.
really cool,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You know?
It's still really cute.
And so the fun thing about learning a block like this is that this can then be used anywhere. If you put 4 of these together, it would be a wall hanging. If you take a long piece of fabric and, you know, turned them up and down, you'd have a table runner. If you put 2 at the ends, you know, I'm the fan of little squares or X's and O's or something like that in the middle, and then 2 cute blocks on the end, because in the middle is where you put your
candle or flowers.
your candles, your flowers, your salt and pepper, and you don't want to go to all the work to make a block and then just sit something on top of it.
Cover it up and let no one admire it.
Yeah, so I'm the fan of a block at either end, and I have a really long table, so that allows me to make a long, whatever size runner I want to make, and then put a couple of blocks at the end, and I'm good to go.
Love it. It's awesome.
All right, let's show them how to do this.
All right, sounds good. So we started with 10-inch squares.
And we've used this cute little Hello Sweetheart from Riley Blake.
Yes, it's adorable.
Oh my gosh, it is so cute.
Wait, Peggy has a question. What
All right,
is it, Peggy?
go, Peggy.
Well, she just said, have a question.
Oh.
So you can ask. Yes, you can definitely ask questions.
Actually, yes. So we love your questions during this time. I particularly do.
Yeah.
So go ahead and ask any questions you want to know, and the boys will try and feed them to us, and we'll teach you a project at the same time.
That's exactly right. Awesome. So what we did is we took our 10-inch squares and we just cut them in half. So we had 2 5 by 10, and then I cut them down to 5 by 9. I found that the 10 inches was just a little bit too long to get the right heart shape that we wanted. So I've got some pieces here ready to go.
So basically,
okay, wait 1 sec. Did we talk about the fabric we're using?
Yes.
She did. Hello, Sweetheart by Riley Blake.
That is a 10 by 10 square pack.
That's right.
Right. Let me show you what we did. Let's just cut one for you. So the first thing I would do is put this on fusible. You know, just go ahead and iron it on, and then and then we're going to cut it in. We're going to cut an inch off like this, because the 9, like Misty said, the 9 works better.
Wait, what happened to you, Mom?
Am I off? What happened?
Did you run out of battery on hers?
No.
Misty, talk.
Can you hear me? All right.
Let me see.
No, something happened.
No, I'm still green.
Oh, we're on. Here, go to on. There we go.
All right.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
Whew, that was scary.
Sorry
Hang on now. I got to take a moment and readjust.
Okay, wait, I have Peggy's question. Will you scroll up on this real quick? She's wondering how to match up her piecing. She says she can't get it to match up all the time.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm trying to think if I have anything where I can show you that. There's a couple. I have a couple of ideas on that. Jake, don't let me forget that, and I'll circle back to that.
Okay.
Because that is that's a really good question, and it's pretty easy once you get it together. All right. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and move on to this. We've ironed a piece of fusible on the back.
Yeah,
we
just use
fleece.
Heat and Bond Featherlight, and so there's links to this fabric and this in the post. So if you guys need to get it, you can get it from us at Missouri Star.
We're going to cut 1 inch off.
Yep.
Just like this. And then we're going to turn the block like this and cut it right in half. So we'll lay our ruler, our 5-inch ruler, right on the edge like this, and then cut it right in half.
Yep.
Just like that. So then you have 2 of these, and you'll be able to use you'll want 2 different ones to make your heart.
Exactly.
So once you get your piece cut with your fusible on it, like this.
Then I just made a couple markings. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I used the 45 line.
Was this your pen?
Yes.
Okay.
I just used the 45 line and put it on the corner, and I just measured down 1 inch and then drew a line on each corner. Can you see that?
So, so we're going to cut these off so that it has more of a heart shape.
Yep.
In reality, I mean, we could fold this and just cut a curve.
You could.
So that it was curved. So you do what you want to do, because some people are a little more, like things a little more traditional and roundy. I'm just going to cut these off right there.
Sounds good.
And I think I originally did this little edge like this because normally I'm piecing it, and I would have snowballed the corners. But since we're cutting them, you could even do it round.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
And then I measured up from the bottom 5 inches.
Okay.
And so I've drawn a line here so that you can see it.
So here's our 5 right here.
Yep.
And we're drawing the line. Wait, let me get over here.
So
make sure we're in the top cam. And we're just drawing the line right here.
And you just need it to be enough that you can see where you're going to cut up to. So then
because you don't want it to show, because you're not cutting that off.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
That will still be there. So then we're going to take our ruler and we're going to cut 1-inch strips.
Okay.
So I did it with a rotary cutter because I found even if I went a little bit past that line, it was actually helpful with the weave.
Yeah.
But,
so we're just laying this right on the edge.
Yep.
We're going to cut right up to the line. And then I'm just going to move this over.
Yep.
And I can still see the line. And do you know what? I almost went way beyond the line right then. I didn't, but I could feel
wanting to go all the way
inclination was to cut through the piece.
Yeah, as long as you're close,
okay, we got a couple questions.
All right.
First off, they say they can't hear you too good, so maybe move your microphone up a little bit.
Me or
Misty?
Misty.
Okay, I'll move it
and
up,
then
sorry.
they're wondering how many layer cakes or 10 by 10 squares do you need to make a king size quilt?
Oh.
So you're going to need 3. So for a king size quilt, so a queen size quilt is 2 layer cakes. To make a king, you're going to need 3, but it's going to be more than enough.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, you'll have a king and 2 pillows or 2 shams or a little lap quilt. You'll have some leftover, but you definitely, you need more than 2.
2 isn't quite enough for a king.
Yeah.
So now we've got all these strips cut, and I went ahead and made one that is, a different color so that it would show up. And we're going to put it on a 12-inch background square. So I've got that here for us.
All right. Now, did you peel your paper?
I did. I peeled it first.
Okay, so I'll peel one.
Peel off the backing.
Oh, that's true. You would not want to peel this after.
No, it would kind of be the worst. And then I just started by folding
every other one
up on this one.
You know, I'm a fly by the seat of my pants girl, and Misty is a little more of a planner. And so I'm always fascinated by how different minds think and how they put it together. And I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea.
You still kind of have to adjust. Like it doesn't make it perfect, but for me, it worked.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
And then I folded that one down, and then
the next one over.
And then these ones
So
back.
this is just like your weaving lesson from, you know, when we learned to weave as grade school kids.
Yeah, so this one needs to slide up.
I mean, I got to jump in here because you guys have to know we're all cowering. The film crew is afraid of these ladies because they're trying to get us all sick.
We're not trying
not to contaminate anybody.
All right, so you're just going over and under, and every other one is opposite. I mean, every other one is opposite.
That's right, and you just kind of keep going and adjusting as you go
Cinch them
along.
up.
There we go.
And then these are going to all have to slide a little bit because we got to fit that bottom row in there. We get it?
I think we're getting there. Whoops, wait, I messed up. This one. There we go, and then that goes on top.
All right, now let's see if we can slide these up a little bit so this one comes to the edge.
Yep.
One more here. Up, 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 up. I got my little end one. Yeah, you just have to do a little bit of adjusting. And then you want to make sure it's kind of straight on your square.
Yep.
So just turn a little bit. We're looking at these edges to make sure it's the same distance.
Yeah, and then I would pull it up just a smidge.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
So that it's more even.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right in the middle. Yeah. The other thing I thought of was what a great pillow this would be.
Oh, it would be so cute for your couch.
Just a couple of these on your couch.
Yeah, it's so fun for Valentine's coming
Or
up.
a bag, like if you're a person who likes a special bag for you know, holidays and things like that. Oh my gosh, this would make such a cute bag.
Wait. So you have some questions about how to attach it. We're gonna do it now, but you guys talked about the heat and bond, right?
Yes, so we
did.
ironed our square onto heat and bond very first before we cut it. And so it was attached to Heat and Bond Feather Light, which like I said is linked in the post. So you can get that. And so that is the first thing we did. Is that one goobered?
It's just a little bit coming undone there on the bottom.
Hopefully it will stay. We are going to blanket stitch over the edge of this once we're done. So we just need it to hold it in place until we get there.
Hang on, I'm going to cut this straggler.
All right.
And then this one right here, I can't seem to get him to slide in there very good. We might have to just touch him with the iron when we get over there.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so we're going to take it over here.
Over to the ironing board.
To the ironing board.
Is there anything we need to move so you guys can see better?
You guys see?
I think we're good.
All right.
Is there a pattern for the quilt in the background?
The quilt behind us
this is the Missouri Star quilt. And this block, this is an actual Missouri Star quilt block. And we do have a tutorial on that. So you can look that up. If you guys know about our app, we have an app. It's a little free app and it's got the little bird on it. And every time a new tutorial comes in, your phone will just quack.
It just quacks just like on the
just
intro.
A little quack.
Yep. All right, so now I've taken this and I always...
Now can people see this because the ironing board is there, the bracelet's there. Can you guys see this? Okay.
It's on main cam.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I start down here where I've started the weave, and so I've made sure that my point looks good, and that's where I'm going to first press.
Do we want to move this over here maybe?
That's the most likely to shift. And so I just press and lift, press and lift. Because I don't want to shift all those things that we've worked so hard to weave.
No, I'm going to see if I can...
Press and lift. Bend and snap.
Bend and snap, press and lift. That's right.
All right. Misty, what, do you remember what?
It was number 56 on this machine. Oh, so you have to hit this and then 56. There we go, and it should be good to go. That's the, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little blanket stitch.
Wait.
Somebody asked if that was a robotic vacuum.
You mean robotic?
Being from space camp,
it's
I
not a
appreciate the
vacuum.
robot.
It is an iron.
All right, let's go. Let's go
I
a
didn't mean
little
vacuum
bigger.
and then iron.
So
All right.
this, we just finished it with a little blanket stitch. I don't know if you guys can see this in the top cam. And so that's what we're gonna do now. Which one do you want to do?
I
think
want
we
to do
gotta
that red
do
one.
this cute red one?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna take this to the sewing machine, and we're gonna.
And I'm going to start on a straight edge right here
Yep.
on the bottom. And I just have my regular foot on there. And we've done a blanket stitch, which, Misty, you might get that other one out there. And if you guys could like zoom in on this close. So it's a little stitch that goes a stitch over and a stitch in to grab it.
Yeah.
And that's what, actually it's called an applique stitch.
Okay.
I think in the old days we called it a blanket stitch, but it's an applique stitch. And you just want to watch where your needle is and have it center up on that edge of the quilt right there. And this just takes some patience. So not something I'm super good at.
But it looks so cute when it's all finished, and it holds those ends in place, so you don't have to worry about them coming undone.
So we had a question about when to use the heat bond. Or sorry, if you couldn't hear me, there was a question about
When to use
the heat bond.
It's great for any iron-on applique project like this. So I mean, if you're not going to do needle turn applique and you want something quick, but still, you know, to do the applique look, then I think heat and bond is a great option.
One, I would even put it on your blocks before you cut them up or anything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So you iron it to it when it's
10-inch
bigger
square.
before you cut it down. Exactly. So we can show you that at the end if we need
Because
to.
then you have that heat and bond out to the edges to kind of
Right.
get it to stick.
Because you do want to make sure it goes all the way to the edge so that you're bonding every bit of that fabric when you press it down.
And I always leave my needle down when I turn, so that it doesn't slide or get out of.
Where you want it.
Yeah,
I love this little one. It's so cute.
it's really cute. Why don't you show them how to iron on the heat and bond to
While you're stitching.
while I'm stitching, because
Okay.
this is going to just take a few minutes here.
All right. So
And I'm actually, for the gal who wants me to show how to get her pieces to line up, I'm actually going to put a little 4-patch together for you so that you can see how I do that.
So they want to know, like, when you're blanket stitching, what type of thread do you use?
This is just our regular Missouri Star thread. And so I think that one of the things you want to look at is, do you want it to outline your applique, or do you want it to disappear? There's actually invisible thread.
Yeah.
It's like a fishing line. And so if you don't want all your applique to show up, you can use that invisible thread and it just kind of disappears. And so you can also use, the polyester thread is really good because it doesn't break and it's shiny. So if you really want your applique stitch to show up, the shiny polyester thread is good. But basically, this is just our normal thread.
Yep.
And I'm a make-do girl, so I'm pretty much going to use what's on my machine as long as it's, you know, I'm going to change it to light or dark,
Depending on what you want.
depending upon what I want, yeah.
They want to know if you could give them the what length and of the applique.
Yes,
the
mine
width
is
and length.
actually, it's stitched on this Eversewn machine. It's stitch number 56, and it's I have a 3.0 and 3.5, and I just lengthened mine a little bit. It came up 2.5 and 3.5, and I just lengthened it a little bit.
Okay, so for this heat and bond, if you guys are not familiar with it, it's 17 inches wide and it has like a sticky, shiny side. And so you're gonna put the wrong side of the fabric on that, facing that shiny side, and then you're gonna just press it on. And you do wanna watch your iron that you don't go over the edge of your, onto the rest of the heat and bond, because it will gum up your iron. But you're just gonna press that in place, and then now it's stuck to it. And so then you can cut this out. You can cut it out first if you're worried about it, or if you have lots of pieces, you can just fit it all on there, and then it'll just peel right off. But that's what we did. We attached it to that before we started. We'll go ahead and cut this out so you can see one more time while Jenny's finishing that blanket stitch.
I'm on the home stretch right
She's
here.
almost done.
One more over, one more
So
back.
Misty, somebody had just bought
knot.
a Sparrow 25, and they were wondering on how to use the needle threader.
Oh, the needle threader.
Oh, I can show you that.
Yeah. We might have to have Michael bring the camera around after we're done here. Set this out
Oh,
of the
this
way.
is so cute.
It's so fun, isn't it?
Yes.
I know, I was having fun yesterday. All right, see, there's this little one. Isn't that so cute?
All right. Uh-oh, my needle's unthreaded. What'll I do? Whenever you thread your needle.
Give me a sec, Mom.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. We're ready for
We're
it.
good?
Yep.
Whenever I thread my needle. Now, wait a minute. You can't look at my nails because I didn't do my nails.
Neither
for
one
this.
of us. It's fine. It's fine.
People are always like, you have the best nails. I'm like, I didn't do them today.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're going to do when you go to thread and use a needle threader, you want your needle to be in the highest position. So you're going to turn your crank wheel until your needle's at the highest position. Then I kind of hold my thread out here and lower this. Oh wait, it's on the other side. My other machine is on this side. So there's a little bit of a little duck beak.
Yeah, it's like a little hook kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And I'm just going to put my thread under that like this, and it turns, and I'm going to bring it over. Can you see any of this with my finger in the way? Maybe you need to come and get your cell phone and can you just get can you tie your cell phone into it? No?
All right, yeah, we can. Here.
Because this is
All right, keep going.
actually I can turn the machine around and come to the other side of the table if you want. Because this, once you learn to use the needle threader,
it's handy.
until
Give me
you
one sec.
learn,
Yeah, just like that would work.
until you learn to use the needle threader, threading this needle is going to be such a pain. But once you learn, it's awesome. So see right here, this is what I'm talking about. This little guy right here, it's like a little duck beak right here. Are you getting that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. But once I put my hand in front of it here, you're not going to get any of it.
All right, here you go.
Can you see it? Because my hand has to be there.
Yeah, it's visible.
All right, let me do this. You know what? I'm going to come from the other side and show you this. Hang on. This will be easier,
There we go.
and you'll be able to see it so good. Oh, I just
We're only getting a little distracted here.
Unplugged it. It's
People.
fine.
Stick
no.
with
This
us.
is huge, though. This is huge. So this is
Yeah,
one of those
okay,
things
here we
where
go. All right.
you just want to make sure you know how to do this. All right. So here's what we do. We make sure our needle's at the highest. Does this work, Michael, or turn it this way?
Yeah, you gotta stop.
Okay.
Perfect.
Now we're going to slide it under this little duck beak right here. And it's going to turn when we come down. And then we're going to put it right in between. There's two little prongs. We're going to put it right in between, and we're going to lift this up, and it pulls a little loop out from behind your needle, just like that. And then your needle's threaded.
So just remember that duck beak. Little
Highest
loop
position.
back.
We're all about technical terms here.
So I hope that helped you, because that is super, super helpful.
No.
And it works so good.
Yeah, super fun. All right, so then we have this little heart block. We just made a simple little wall hanging for your sewing room.
But look, if you put a back on this would be the cutest, this would be the cutest pillow.
It would be so cute as a pillow. And I like
So
the
cute.
idea of turning them back and forth like this, even with these different background colors.
Oh,
It's
gosh, yeah.
So cute.
That would make a darling
So
runner.
fun. I know. I love it.
My idea was to put 4 of them together like in a...
Oh, okay.
Like in a...
So yeah, you would go over,
Oh, yes.
down, across, and
then,
Yeah, and then there's
then
one more
up.
right there. Me and Copper came
All right,
up with
hang
this
on.
idea to make a quilt.
We'll just cover it. There we go.
She was saying earlier that it would be a good quilt.
Ah, so
Yeah.
cute.
yeah. So you could do it like this.
And then you could border that whole thing. There's
Yeah.
all kinds. You
Oh,
got
did we
8
say
options.
these are 12-inch background squares? Did we say that?
I think so.
I can't remember.
But you always, whatever your thing is. Obviously, if you want a 20-inch pillow, you could
Right.
cut a 20-inch back and just center this in the
Yes,
center.
exactly.
But this becomes, this is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's about an 18-inch square.
Right. Once you put
Did you
those-
see that fast
those
math I did?
Borders on it.
All right, I need 2.5-inch strips. Let me use
Okay.
one of these.
One of those.
And
we'll
then,
have to cut another one.
yeah, just one of those, because I want to show how to match up your points, because this is
Let's
huge.
do it.
Do we have any more questions?
Somebody wants to know how you hang a wall hanging on a wall.
how I hang them or how the best way to hang them is?
Well, I think they want to know the best way, but you can give them your way too.
Okay. So I actually, because I change my quilts out fairly often, I have two ways of doing it. One is I buy a curtain rod from Walmart that I install in the place. I always have a quilt hanging. Like I have a quilt hanging on my stairs, always. And it has the little clippy rings, and I will just, you know, the ring goes around and it's got a little squeezy part at the end, and I just put,
you just clip those right to the
10
quilt.
of those, and then I can change my quilts in and out.
We could show them behind the scenes what we did right here.
Oh yeah.
Here, let me just
This doesn't look very good for like a home display though.
No,
Well, yeah. So
still.
Show them now.
yeah. So you can come up here. We actually use pant hangers.
It's fancy.
You guys never knew.
You never knew. Now you know.
You never knew.
We
You
use
never
pant
knew.
hangers because they're easy on the quilts.
Yeah.
You know, it's quick and easy to switch them out really
Yeah, we
fast.
changed this one so often. We needed something fast. And
Yeah,
so that's what we do.
And to be honest, these are the little. Are you still up here, Jake? Come back up here. These are the little gold clips that I use, and we used to use all the time, but it got so hard for me. My hands are sore, and it got hard for me to pinch them.
Yeah.
And yes, they could do it, but the bar we got is bigger too, so it's just harder to pinch. But that's actually what I use at home. I get one of those skinny rods, mounts on a rod. The other thing is that I often staple my quilts to the wall. And the reason I do is because I know you're gasping out there in quilt land, but think about this. A staple is probably smaller than the needle that goes through your quilt 80 million times.
When you get it quilted.
When you get it quilted.
So true.
I don't die over, you know, if I want to put a little wall hanging up somewhere or, you know, a quilt up, I'll just get a staple gun. And I don't use the big, giant
industrial
staples.
ones.
No, I just use the little staples, and I just staple because it doesn't hurt the quilt. There's not really much pull on it. And you just, you know, I mean, life's too short.
Yeah.
And I'm not making fancy Dan quilts either. So I'm making, you know, I mean, I don't die over the staple thing.
It's true.
All right.
So we had a question on what machine this is.
This is the Sparrow 25.
Yes.
And I happen to really like the Sparrow 25. It's a little workhorse. I lost
Did
my
you lose
pedal.
it when we shifted? Here.
Oh, yeah, here.
There we go.
So it's a little workhorse. It has a fabulous stitch to it.
Yeah.
And it feels sturdy, which
I agree.
that's important to me in a sewing machine, that it feels sturdy. And honestly, as quilters, most of us, you know, a lot of us own a machine that has, you know.
It doesn't come out.
Oh, it doesn't come out?
No.
This has a little stitch card on it. It has like 80 million stitches.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we use about 3 of them.
Yes, it's so true.
It's so true.
I
And
know,
so
I was telling Jenny yesterday, I was like, well, I know the machine has a blanket stitch, but I've never used it.
yeah.
So-
And I use the blanket, I use the zigzag,
Yeah.
and I use the, every once in a while, if I'm putting on elastic, I'll use a stretch stitch.
Yeah.
But
There's so many good ideas coming in for the hanging the quilts. Like some people have just decorative hooks, and then they have a bar that they can just switch out.
oh, that's a great
that's
idea.
fun.
There's also push pins are a great one.
Oh, yeah, push pins are a
we
good
use
one.
Push
Use
pins
push
quite a
pins
bit.
sometimes too.
And magnetic, they have those magnetic strips where you can put those in, and those are pretty good. So what I've done
Oh,
here,
wait, we had another idea on the heart before.
Oh, what is
Yes.
it?
Put them diagonally and then have them all pointing to the center.
Oh, that would be
Like
cute
angle
on your
them on the
background
block?
square.
yeah, so you'd lay them,
You'd have to set it on
Yeah,
the
you'd have
square.
them set.
yeah, you'd have to set it.
Yeah.
Oh, put the heart on here
Yes,
diagonally.
yes, and then it would all come.
I bet you could use a 10-inch square if you did it that way too.
No,
Oh, why
these are
don't-
10.5 inches wide. These hearts.
Even if you turn them. Oh, okay.
Well, from here to here. Maybe you could.
Why don't
know.
we let's cut another piece out and see how it looks diagonally, because that's piquing my brain. That's interesting.
If you guys are
Well, we'd have to
interested,
cut another heart.
can
too.
we go over?
Oh well, we can just. Well, what are we late?
Yeah.
All right,
We're
hang
out
on.
of
All
time.
right, let me show you how to set seams really good. So I just sewed a little seam together, and we're going to pretend we're making a 4-patch here. So I've got two 2.5-inch strips I sewed together. We're going to open up. We're going to press them, and you want to press always to the dark side. So your dark fabric is on top, and your lighter fabric's on the bottom, and that will help you set seams as well. Now, one of the things you can do, and I've done this so much that this has become the way I do it, and it's easy for me. I lay these together like this, and I can feel, you butt them up next to each other, and you can feel if there's any fabric in there. When you're sewing along, you know, you can just feel if there's any. If you sew them this way so that the fabric is pointing down when you sew through, it'll actually kind of scoot it. It'll scoot it in and kind of keep it together. The other thing you can do if you're really struggling is you can take a pin and right in this seam right here, so right where this seam is, you come down 1/4 inch and you stick your pin through there, and then you can put your pin through here like this and line them up, and then just push that pin back like this, and those two pieces, you know, make sure your edges are together like this, but those two pieces will lay really nice, and when you pin them, it'll go together. There's also a thing called a horseshoe pin, and it's a little pin. It kind of looks like a bobby pin, but it's straight and sharp on both sides, and a lot of people like to use those for setting their seams together, and you don't want this to happen. See how this is folded? You want to look and make sure that is not folded, because you don't want that extra bulk in your seam. So just make sure when you come down and do this that both sides are laying nice and flat. And then when you open it up, it should be just perfect like this. And hopefully that helps you to set or to nest up your seam. Now, on the nesting of the seams, one thing I want to say, no one's ever given a quilt back to me because my points weren't perfect or my nested seams weren't perfect. If I have a seam that's off a little bit, if it bothers me 3 times, I'll take it out and do it again. And I don't take out the whole row. I take out this much and just re-nest them and line them back up. And if there's a part that's bigger that bubbles, I put that on the bottom, and the feed dogs will take that through. But if I just don't dye over.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at a quilt, you look at the whole quilt. You don't look at the, what's the matter?
Start cutting out the heart.
Oh, start cutting.
No, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. We have to talk about bracelets still.
But the other thing that they wanted to ask
yes,
is on the seams, will they fray with washing?
They probably will. There'll probably be some frayage.
But I think they will, but I think you could use like a fray check or something.
Now, when I
wanted to make a quilt,
you can. And when I quilted this, honestly, I mean, when I saw this, my idea of quilting is that I'm going to go and quilt this checkerboard. I'm going to sew a little tiny stitch right down along the edge of these. So that will be my machine quilting.
Help hold it in place more.
Yeah, and if you just machine quilt over the whole top of the thing, like we have a little pattern that's hearts, if you do that pattern small enough, it will catch all those seams. And so it could fray a little bit, but it won't. You won't dye over it.
Yeah, and at that point, it would be like almost part of the
design of it. Yeah,
right.
It would be cute.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, like a little wall hanging, you don't wash those very much.
Nope.
Let's be honest, you just don't wash those very much. All right, I'm going to put this again, like Misty said, on the 45 right here, and just trim a little corner off. And normally I wouldn't measure this, I would just eyeball it, but because people are watching, I am being a little more careful and trimming that. All right, so just let's use the back of one of these.
All right.
And,
they're all going to show probably.
this one doesn't show.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to put this on here. Now, what do we say?
Yeah, like that.
Like that.
Like this?
No, flat, yeah.
So this way and this way?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So maybe
this way and this way.
A smaller square. You probably could.
This way and this way, and then they'd all point to the center. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's so cute.
I'm feeling a new tutorial, Friday tutorial.
I'm thinking this would be awesome. It'd be really cute.
It'd be really cute. So one more thing before we go. Jenny gets asked all the time about your bracelet.
My bracelet.
Yes.
I love this bracelet. So let me tell you the story real quick. A girl from Wyoming, Montana, way out west, Utah, someplace out there. She brought me one of these bracelets. She brought one for everybody in the retreat, and I fell in love with them, and I wear it all the time. I like, I'm not fussy, so I don't like a lot of fancy, Julie, Misty kind of stuff, but I like, I mean, not
Misty kind of, what the?
I feel like I wear too much stuff, but
she's just so girly and adorable. But I love this bracelet, fell in love with it. So we tried to find out where she got it. She got it from a little boutique. On the way there, we called the boutique. The boutique, they're like, oh, we don't have any idea. We got it from an auction lot. And so they, you know, we couldn't find anyone who made it. We spent years searching, and then finally we got someone to make them.
Oh, sorry, Michael had a great shot. I'm ruining it. They're so cute.
Aren't they so cute?
They're so
So we have
cute.
several different colors: black, white, orange, yellow,
Teal.
teal.
Look at this cute teal.
They're just cute. And so now you can have
You guys have to hold them still.
And to be honest, this was the day 25 gift in my Christmas box.
Yes.
And so we actually had them, and I was like, no, you can't show them. It has to be a surprise for everybody. So everybody who got the gift box got one of these, and they are just, I mean, they're just darling,
so
and I
cute.
love them. And it's just a great thing for a little quilter to wear, I think.
It's a fun gift. So add it to your list so your hubby can get it for you for Valentine's Day.
Oh, that'd
So
be cute. That'd be really cute.
And there is links to this in the post in the description. So if you guys want to check these out and grab one, because they're so cute.
Here's a
darling.
question that I'm not
They're
sure
on the
about.
website.
Does the lives go on the app?
No.
They don't.
Mainly the
Do they?
tutorials.
They don't.
Oh, they don't go on the app, but they're on YouTube.
Yes, they are on YouTube.
Yeah, you can get them on YouTube.
They definitely are on YouTube. So there isn't a pattern for this yet, but there is. The video will be on YouTube. You can watch it over and also on Facebook.
Yep. Yeah, we save these lives afterwards, so if you miss part of it, you can always go back and watch it. So either way, thank you, Ginny.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. This
There
is
was
really
one question
fun.
about the bracelets. What size are they?
Oh, you know what? Let me put them on here so I can see. I don't know exactly. Now mine measures 3 inches outside edge to outside edge.
What about inside edge?
Inside edge is going to be it's probably about 1/8 of an inch off, so probably 2 3/4.
Here, let me see if I can fit one on my wrist here.
Yeah, I can fit one on my wrist, but I do have old hands that kind of scooch up. Jake's got bigger man hands.
Isaac got one on.
Jake can't.
No way.
Jake can't get it on his wrist.
Let me try one of these. It's just on my knuckles won't go in there.
Oh, they won't fold in.
All right. So
But here,
He has
okay,
man hands.
but wait, watch this, you guys.
Man hands.
Watch this.
Thank
You could
you,
wear them
thank you.
as earrings, just like attach them right here. How's that?
It's great. It's just great.
Or find a little-handed person to get them to.
Can you tell we're all on cold medicine?
It's
Fine.
There's a lot of cold medicine. We're fine.
Either way, thank you guys so much for being here. We hope you enjoyed this little Valentine's project, and we will see you next week. Natalie's going to be here next week.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
You get
it's
to see
gonna
my
be super fun.
daughter.
So we'll see you then. Have a great Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See you guys.
Good to see you.